With financial crime and terrorist activities being high on all governments' agenda, it got me thinking, is there an organisation that works alongside the government who can take on these criminals who commit these crimes and bring them to justice? In today's video, we will be taking a look at what is the FATF and what is their Grey List. Hello and welcome to another KYC Lookup video where we bring you AML related content to help you enhance your knowledge in the fight against money laundering. Before diving into today's video, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos. Oh, and don't forget to leave us a comment with any suggested topics you would like us to cover in the future. We also have a special announcement to make, so be sure to watch until the end to find out what it is. So, on to today's video. What is the FATF? The Financial Action Task Force, FATF, was established in July 1989 by a group of 7 G7 summit in Paris, initially to examine and develop measures to combat money laundering. The Financial Action Task Force, FATF, is the global money laundering and terrorist financing watchdog. The objective of the FATF is to set standards and promote effective implementation of legal, regulatory, and operational measures for combating money laundering, terrorist financing, and other related threats to the integrity of the international financial system. As a policy-making body, the FATF works to generate the necessary political will to bring about national legislation and regulatory reforms in these areas. Starting with its own members, the FATF monitors countries' progress in implementing the FATF recommendations, reviews money laundering and terrorist financing techniques and countermeasures, and promotes the adoption and implementation of the FATF recommendations globally. Formed in 1989 and currently consisting of 37 members, the Financial Action Task Force was initially established to set out measures to be taken in the fight against money laundering. In October 2001, particularly after the September 11th attacks, the FATF expanded its mandate to incorporate efforts to combat terrorist financing, in addition to money laundering, and in April 2012, it added efforts to counter the financing of proliferation of weapons of mass destruction. What countries are members of the FATF? The FATF is currently made up of 37 member jurisdictions. Here is a list of some of them: Argentina, Belgium, Canada, Denmark, France, Greece, Hong Kong, India, Japan, New Zealand, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, United Kingdom, and the United States. What is the FATF Grey List? An FATF Grey List is a list of jurisdictions that are under increased monitoring. This is due to the jurisdiction falling short of their obligation to combat financial crime or have a heightened terrorist risk. By placing a country on a Grey List, it means they have committed to resolve swiftly the identified strategic deficiencies within agreed timeframes and will continue to be monitored by the FATF. For example, in February 2021, the Cayman Islands were placed on the FATF's Grey List due to a lack of fines and enforcement actions by Cayman's regulatory bodies. The FATF then made a statement which said, since it was placed on the list, Cayman has made a high-level political commitment to work with the FATF and the Caribbean FATF, CFATF, to strengthen its anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism regime and had imposed adequate and effective sanctions in cases where relevant parties, including legal persons, do not file accurate, adequate, and up-to-date beneficial ownership information in line with those requirements. So, who else is on the Grey List? As of October 2022, these countries are on the FATF's Grey List: Albania, Barbados, Burkina Faso, Cambodia, Cayman Islands, Democratic Republic of Congo, Haiti, Jamaica, Jordan, Mali, Malta, Morocco, Mozambique, Panama, Philippines, Senegal, South Sudan, Syria, Tanzania, Turkey, Uganda, United Arab Emirates, and Yemen. These countries will continue to be monitored by the FATF and other international bodies. How does the FATF combat financial fraud and terrorist funding? The FATF tackles many different crimes, financial fraud and terrorist funding being two of them. However, they also help authorities trace the funds behind environmental crime, tackle illicit profits out of human trafficking, and explore new technologies to prevent money laundering. The main objectives of the Financial Action Task Force are: review money laundering and terrorist financing techniques, continuously strengthens its standards to address new risks, for example, cryptocurrencies, and monitor countries to ensure they implement the FATF standards fully and effectively, while also holding countries to account when they don't comply in the form of increased monitoring lists, also known as the Grey List. Since its inception, FATF has issued 40 recommendations to fight money laundering and 9 special recommendations to fight terrorist financing, which most financial institutions follow as part of the AML KYC programs. And over 200 governments have committed to implementing the FATF global standards. But surely the FATF can't tackle this all on their own, can they? So, what other organisations do the FATF work with? As part of the global collective, the FATF needs to work with other organisations to tackle multiple issues. Here is a couple of those organisations: the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, the Egmont Group of Financial Intelligence Units, and the International Monetary Fund. Let's look at each organisation more closely. The United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. The United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, also known as UNODC, has been helping make the world safer from drugs, organised crime, corruption and terrorism. UNODC are committed to achieving health, security and justice for all by tackling these threats and promoting peace and sustainable well-being as deterrents to them. Established in 1997, UNODC has approximately 500 staff members worldwide. Its headquarters are in Vienna, and it operates 20 field offices, as well as liaison offices in New York and Brussels. The main objectives of the UNODC are: educate people throughout the world about the dangers of drug abuse, strengthening international action against illicit drug production, trafficking and drug-related crime, improve crime prevention. To achieve those aims, UNODC has launched a range of initiatives, including alternatives in the area of illicit drug crop cultivation, monitoring of illicit crops, and the implementation of projects against money laundering. The Egmont Group of Financial Intelligence Unit. The Egmont Group is a united body of 166 financial intelligence units, FIUs. The Egmont Group provides a platform for the secure exchange of expertise and financial intelligence to combat money laundering and terrorist financing. This is especially relevant as FIUs are uniquely positioned to cooperate and support national and international efforts to counter terrorist financing, and are the trusted gateway for sharing financial information domestically and internationally, in accordance with global anti-money laundering and counter-financing of terrorism standards. The objective of the Egmont Group is to provide a forum for FIUs around the world to improve cooperation in the fight against money laundering and financing of terrorism, and to foster the implementation of domestic programs in this field. The Egmont Group provides support to membering FIUs by expanding and systematising international cooperation in the reciprocal exchange of information, fostering better and secure communication among FIUs through the application of technology such as the Egmont Secure Web, increasing the effectiveness of FIUs by offering training and promoting personnel exchanges to improve the expertise and capabilities of personnel employed by FIUs. The International Monetary Fund. The International Monetary Fund, or IMF, is an organisation of 100 countries working to foster global monetary cooperation, secure financial stability, facilitate international trade, promote high employment and sustainable economic growth, and reduce poverty around the world. The IMF provides loans, including emergency loans, to member countries experiencing actual or potential balance of payment problems. The aim is to help them rebuild their international reserve, stabilise their currencies, continue paying for imports, and restore conditions for strong economic growth, while correcting underlying problems. Monitor the international monetary system and global economic developments to identify risks and recommend policies for growth and financial stability. And technical assistance and training to governments, including central banks, finance ministries, revenue administrations, and financial sector supervisory agencies. As you can see, by the FATF working alongside these other organisations, it creates a strong framework of policies and procedures so that countries will have the tools and the know-how on tackling financial crime and the threat of terrorism within their jurisdiction. Well, there you have it. What is the FATF and what is the Grey List? Please tell us in the comments section what other ways we can all tackle the erosion of financial and terrorist crime. Now for the special announcement mentioned at the start of the video. We have now launched our very own courses for you to take a more in-depth look at a variety of subjects, such as Introduction to AML, Beneficial Ownership, and Customer Risk Rating, for example. So make sure you visit our website for further details, and let us help you connect the dots in KYC. Thank you for watching the video, and if you made it this far, don't forget to like and subscribe to watch more amazing videos.